Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another thrilling episode of Converting My Van. In today's episode number 5, we will be revisiting the electrics. So what I've got going on here is the solar panel is connected up here. The cabling comes down through a hole, comes along here, and then goes down this way, all the way down until it reaches this. The Rover 30 MPPT charge controller from Renergy. It then goes into my Renergy leisure battery, my 100 amp hour battery. Now I've connected it as well to the Bluetooth module, and I've checked on my phone, and on overcast weather, rainy, miserable weather, it's doing about 14 amp hours a day, which is pretty good, all things considering, I would have thought. So what I am thinking though is, well, watching a few videos, I realised I've made a few mistakes. Those mistakes being from this wiring, so coming along here, down here, it should, before it reaches the MPPT charge controller, it needs to have a kill switch, which I have one of these here. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to chop up that red wire, connect it to the kill switch, and then connect the other side of the red wire into the other end of the kill switch, I guess. That solves one problem there. Another issue I've done, or mistake I've made, is between the MPPT charge controller and the battery, there needs to be a fuse. Not a fuse, yeah, a fuse. Yeah, a fuse. So just in case it blows, I guess, I'm not sure. Anyways, I've not got either of those, but what I bought here, I've gone to Halfords and I bought this, a fuse holder with some red cables either side. So I assume all I've got to do is I run the red cable into like a little connector piece, and then put that red cable in the other end, stick them together, clamp it together, whatever, cool. Put a fuse into the little fuse holder and then connect the red cables again on the other side, and then that'll be fused, I guess. Obviously I could be talking utter bollocks, so I really don't know, to be honest, but from looking at YouTube videos, this seems to be a few mistakes I've made. Now what we're also going to do, which is a little bit more fun I suppose, is we're going to go ahead and connect a fuse box, which I have here. This is a 12 input blade fuse box with a whole load of fuses. So what that will be for is, can you see me? Oh, a little bit better. What that'll be for is for all my electrics, my 12 volt electrics. That will be like USB chargers, lights, little bed lights. I want to get a 12 volt TV. So I guess a 12 volt TV would go in there as well. Anything that's 12 volt, anything that's a 12 volt appliance will go into that fuse box. So, finally, we're getting there. The intro, we're getting there. Sorry everybody. So I've got excess of this cables. I'm going to be running this cable into the second one of these with one of these little fuses, and then that will go into the blade fuse box from the battery once we get it all organized. And then here I have some red and some black cables I bought from Halfords. These are 17 amp, which would be more than suffice for any electrical items coming out of this box. So these will be for any appliances coming from there. So that's everything. One last thing, and then we're going to start doing some fun work. What I've done is, between last episode and this episode, I have gone ahead and cut down the wall ply, which, that's all gone. I've got it here. So, and I've drilled it to the wall. Now, it might have been a mistake. I'm not sure. We'll see in the future, because what I want to do is then drill like little holes, so everything is going to be attached onto here. So the MPPT charge controller is going to go on the wall roughly here, and then the cable, the excess cable going from there into the battery, will kind of go through a little hole down behind the board and then come back out. So I want to have a nice, neat and tidy job. Now I might have made a mistake by drilling the ply back to the van already. So we'll find out later in the video if I've made a horrendous mistake. And I've also gone ahead and put the wheel arch back on, as you've probably already told by now, and that's all, well, kind of drilled in. So yeah, cool. That's 5 minutes of absolute waffle. but I wanted to give you a full intro on what we're doing today and the mistakes I made. And yeah, so let's get into some actual practical work, beginning with the solar panel. Okay, so we'll work like this. I think that'll be alright. The first thing I want to do is I want to disconnect all the cables. That being the cables from this battery and the MPPT charge controller. So basically nothing's connected, essentially. I put these rubber gloves on. I hope they're rubber. In hopes that I don't actually know if I'm about to be messing around with live electric and if I'm going to die on camera or not, or if I just get a little pinch of a shock. I truthfully don't know what to expect, so better to be safe than sorry. So let's begin with the battery. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't know why it scares me. So we're just going to go ahead and I wanted to disconnect this, but my screwdriver head isn't big enough. Okay, so I realise it's pretty dark, so I'm going to probably finish this tomorrow, but I just used this, the tool I used last time to help get this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and finish taking this out. Go. That's taken out. So the battery is disconnected. So we're off to a good start so far. Okay, battery done. Oh. Huh. My rover is now turned off. Did that turn off when I disconnected the battery? Is that how that works? I swear that's got power even before. I swear that doesn't actually need to be connected to the battery to work. I could be wrong, but anyways, we're going to take out... Take this out. Take this out. Cool. Now these cables here, I will probably sort something out for them. Don't know. Okay. Next up over here. Disconnect you and disconnect you. Just like so. Yeah, that's worked absolutely fine, and I just pick up this. I can't believe how dark it's got already. So, I'm going to come back tomorrow, which for you will be the very next clip. And what we're going to do then is we're going to connect the kill switch to cable here, and then we're going to reconnect everything back up and make it all look pretty and neat and tidy. Cool, I'll see you then. It's a new day. And there's a lot more light. So now that everything is disconnected, we can go ahead and start connecting some of the stuff I missed out from before. The first one being a kill switch. So, or just an on-off switch. I've got some instructions here. I'll stick that in my pocket. Screws to mount it, which is fine. And then the actual product itself. So, this is the switch. Simply just on, off and on again. That comes off, and then we've got this here. Oh, hang on a minute. Ring connectors. No, you're never gonna believe this. I ain't got any ring connectors. Huh. I'm gonna need to take a trip to Halford to get some ring connectors. So that one will wait. Hi. So, we're back, bit of daylight, and so what we're going to do first is I'm going to grab my MPPT charge controller, which is here, the rover, and I'm going to stick him about here roughly. I want him to sit about there. So yeah, I've got to figure out how I stick this on the wall now, because I'm actually not that sure. So, with the MPPT charge controller, on the back here we've got some holes, and I have got here some little brackets. So I'm going to attach these brackets onto the back of the MPPT charge controller, and then we can use these holes here to mark out where I need to drill on here, basically. So, according to the instructions, I need to mark it with a piece of paper where the holes are, which I've done here. And now it's telling me to stick it on the wall, which I want it, I guess, roughly there. So I have got some masking tape in here, so we will use that. Take the paper onto the desired location for installation. Measure length between the cables and the battery. Yeah, not interested in that right now. Okay, so install the screws according to the mounting holes marked on the paper. Leave some wiggle room and do not fully tighten the bolt yet. Tear off the paper. So, screws 1, 2, 3, 4. So I assume I'm just going to use my drill. I'm going to guess we're going to go like this. Oh shit. Come on. So, right, screws are in. So, hang the rover onto the wall. So, it's got, so I'm guessing now I just, and I just got to drop it. Okay, so I need to give myself a little bit more slack. So let's try again. Hook you on, hook you on, hook you on. That's not level though. It's supposed to just drop down, but it's not. Okay, so this was the biggest ball ache, but we managed to get through it. And I'm just going to quickly show you what to do now. So I'm going to put the last screw in down here. And what we're going to do, we're going to grab our bracket and we're going to put it in this way. So it looks like a S as opposed to a 2. Well, just go for an S shape. S shape with the circle at the bottom. Just like that. So it matches the other 4 sides. Grab our screw. And we're going to basically just screw it in just a little bit. Just get it started. And then we're going to get the drill. And just kind of gently, I say gently with a drill, but that'll do. Nothing too much. And then that is all the brackets on. And now we're going to place it on here finally. Like that. Right, so after a long and painful experience, we finally got the Rearranged Rover 30 up on the wall. I've also reconnected the Bluetooth module and put a little hole here. The cables go through there, all the excess are lingering out there, and then it just comes up the top here. It is upside down, but it looks neat, so I don't really care if it's upside down or not. So the Rearranged Rover's in, and so is the BT Bluetooth module. Next up, I went out and bought this thing. It's like a little heat gun thing. So I've got that. So the plan of action now is I'm going to go ahead and cut up this cable to attach it to here. Oh, I've also went out and bought. Where did I put them? Yeah. Some more ring adapters. Now I don't think these ring adapters are going to be big enough for this. However, the guy in Halfords told me that what you could do if they're not big enough is to basically cut them. So instead of they're a ring, they're like almost like a U. Oh, man, look at this. That's what I'm going to show you. It is so close to actually fitting on. So close. So all I've got to do is basically make that a U shape, and that should work as long as it's tight enough there. So that's fine. Basically, they should work without any issues. The concept of messing around with wires does scare me, so I'm putting on these gloves just to be 100% certain. So what I need here is this plier, which has got whatever it's called. It's got a knife, and we're just going to basically snip it. Yeah, that's enough there. Like that. So now I need to expose some of this wire by using this top part, like I actually can't get it in. What the hell? I need to put a ring connector on there. Like this. I think that's correct. I hope. So we're going to grab this now. We're going to grab some scissors. So scissors. Ow. I'm not sure if you can quite tell, but I've made it a U shape now. So the plan is to just pop it like something like that. God, this really scares me. I don't really know what I'm doing there. And then I've got to make sure this bolt is tight and holds this in. Yeah, like that. Oh my god, it actually did work. It's in. That is in. Okay. So that's one side in. Although it's fuck. Right. Okay, so can't really see me. You kind of see me, kind of can't. So I started doing this, and then I realised actually I should probably record it. So okay, what we're doing is a bit better. I've got here this cable. This is a 6mm cable, I think. I'll double check when I edit this. And what I'm going to do with this is I've already used my crimping tool to expose the wires, and I bought a pack of these like mold things that come in all various different shapes and sizes, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this big one of these big ones here, and I put it over the top of this, like so. Ta-da! Beautiful. I then get one of these little ring hooks. He goes on like that, and then I grab my black thing. Look at that. Spot on. Now, if I glue gun, if I hot, I guess this is still loose, so that's my only concern, is that this is loose. That'll do, mate. So can I then electrical tape this together? Yeah. Oh my god, it actually works. Okay, so I have a better ring connector here. So this one here has got a bigger hole, so it'll actually fit inside this button. So I'm going to get my electrical tape. I'm going to basically stick it on the wire. So we're just going to go ahead and peel this off and give myself just a little play with like that. So I just want to basically stick them on here like so, in hopes that they won't move. That's pretty tight. Cool. So what I need to do now is go ahead and connect them onto, onto my button, which will be this one. I need to connect them on this side here. Don't know if I should be wearing gloves or not. Yeah, leave you like that now. So what I need to do now is go ahead and sort out the other end of the red cable, which is here. Aha! I was thinking then, shit, have I lost it? But I have not lost it. So you're gonna go in, up into here basically. So you go like that. And then this side here. So this side here, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to connect to one of these and get them attached in there. So I'll see you in a second. Squeeze in like that. Again, we get a little bit of electrical tape. What I now need to do is get a screwdriver and get ready to attach these into here and try and get you like that on the wall. Yeah, just like that. Just there will do, I think. This one goes into here as well. Okay, they're in. So if I flick that on, oh my god, there's power. It actually, oh my god, it's actually worked, everyone. I didn't actually believe it. It worked. I got the battery cable flashing, understandably, because there's no, can you even see one? Yeah, there's no battery connected. But this here is lit up and the stuff on the screen, it's actually worked. I don't believe it. On the bottom of here, I put some, what do you call it? Sharpie. And I managed to make a little hole, or make a little thing there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw a screw in there and then screw that screw in there to make the hole, and I can screw it in more securely. And then we can do the other four without any problems. And as you can see here, it's all working. It's actually coming together. I don't believe it. I'm very, very happy. The first plan didn't quite work, but this one has. It's in there securely, and I can just flick it on and off. So that's now on, as you can see there, and I can go ahead and go like this and flick them off. Beautiful. That is the solar isolator done. All that we've got left for this episode to do is to install this little mini blade fuse box and also connect the battery. And I need to put a fuse for the battery. Do I? Yes. I need to put a fuse for the battery. Can't remember what that is though. But anyways, we'll do that now. So, everything is all plugged in, kind of. So what I need to do now is go ahead and plug the negative cable in, and I've gone ahead and got this here, which is a blade fuse holder, and I'm going to put in there a fuse. Now where have I put the fuses? Here I have a 35 amp fuse. So all we do now is just go in here, I assume, and just stick him in. Like that, I guess, or maybe not, maybe this way. So when that's in there now, like so, I believe that's meant to be off center. And close that up. So this here will go like this. with that being done, we are going to go ahead and turn this off. Cool, power is off. So, bit wobbly now, apologise. I now need a screwdriver. Shit, that's solar panel. Whoops, wrong one. My bad. This one here. Okay, right. So if I go ahead and grab, oh shit! What the fuck? Okay, I'm now fucking panicking. I want to put some gloves on. Out the van I go. Fuck that. Gloves on. I was getting a little bit confident, and now I'm like, not happening. So the terminal is turned back on now because it's now the battery that is powering it, as opposed to the solar panel, because the solar panel is turned off. So the battery made this charge like that. Okay, cool. Can I maybe go like this potentially? Yeah, like that. So right now we have power to the solar MPPT charge controller because it's been powered by the battery now that that's plugged in. Dirty. And if I turn that switch on, it will then be being powered by the solar, but I'll leave that for now. I will be disconnecting these cables here because we'll be plugging in these cables now to go into the blade fuse holder, which I'm going to stick somewhere like here. So what I'm going to do now is I've got my little blade fuse holder and I want to just stick it roughly like there, I'd say. Maybe there. About there. So just go like this. Cool. So that now is in place, ready to start connecting all the different wires, which will be, to begin with, so what we're going to need to do first is I've got here these wires. So I've got red and black, obviously positive and negative. Now what you need to have is going from the battery into the blade fuse holder will need to be a fuse on the positive wire. So I've got here a little holder, and what you do in this little holder, you grab a fuse like this and you plonk him in like that so he fits in there nicely, and then you use these little things, so then you attach on a ring like that, and then you use the little nut, I believe this is called, and you just plonk him down like so. Obviously a bit tighter, understandably, but that's the general concept. And now if the cable's small enough you can close this, but I don't think our ones are. Anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to, and this thing here has got a little holes here, so you can attach them like that essentially if you wanted to, or however, I'm not sure yet. That's what we're going to do next. But with the fuse, the blade fuse holder, you need to account for, what you need to account for is every device that you've got and how much, if every device you've got connected to here, if they were all on and running, how much amperage, whatever it's called, how many amps will be being used at one time. Add all that together, and then that's what you need suitable cables for. Maybe I should just sit down because I'm falling over. You need suitable cables for, and you'll need a fuse suitable for. So I estimate that this cable here, which is suitable for 70 amps, will be suffice, and I've got an 80 amp fuse. However, if you've only got a 6-blade fuse holder and you don't plan on using too much, then you might say, okay, 50 amps or say 40 amp cable with a 50 amp fuse would be suitable for me, or it could be smaller. Or if you plan on having tons and tons and tons of stuff, you might say 200 amps and 250 amp fuse would be suitable for you. So for me anyways, I've gone for what I believe is 10mm cable, so suitable for around 70 amps, and I've got an 80 amp fuse because it says online that your fuse should be a little bit more than what your cable is designed for. So for example, I've got on my battery here a 30 amp cable with a 35 amp fuse. So my next job anyways now is I need to decide where this is all going to go, because obviously I could just run this straight into here with no issues. However, I need to put a fuse on. So I need to figure out where I'm going to put the fuse and how much cable I need, because I could essentially, I'm thinking about having a fuse somewhere like here, somewhere like there basically. So I'd only need a little amount going from, see, this is where it becomes a bit awkward. So I don't know how I'm supposed to like measure essentially. So I've just chopped up this cable like that. What I will need to do is put on here, so this would be going like this essentially. So I think that would be roughly suitable, and I just go like that. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to attach all this together inside, and I'll come back out and we will hopefully start connecting it. Here is the finished product. I think that turned out alright. So what I'm going to do is just disconnected the battery stuff, and so now I'm going to go ahead and grab the screw, and we're just going to fling him inside here and inside the other one. And I can't lie, because of the little spark a minute ago, I'm going to put a glove on whilst I do this, because I just get a bit worried. I'm sorry about the noise now as well. So we go like this, and then we go like there we go, perfect. So that goes into there. So now we're going to grab our little box here, take you out just for a second. So I want to stick it in, not like that. That right there is actually very comfortable. So can I just straight away just drill that in? Okay, cool, right. That is secure in place. I have got this cable, which, sorry, is absolutely huge. And I'm just wondering if I could just build like a little hole going in and out, basically. Because it might sound lazy, but I just don't want to cut this up. It's done, and I'd rather just leave it like that. So, I connected the cable from down here, up into this hole, and out this hole now. So I'm going to just go ahead and put the ring on here, and now we're going to put this one back on like so. Now, so the live is connected with the fuse in place. The fuse though won't shut. The fuse little latch won't shut, which is not an issue. Next up, I just have this one to do, which is my black cable, which would just go all the way from the battery straight into the top of here. So what I'm going to do for this one, I'll just show you now, is the black cable is going to go from here just up into this, then down all the way behind, and then come out probably this hole here, then into here. So yeah, I'm going to quickly get that set up, and then we'll show you the results. The negative is coming out here, going into the top, and then it comes all the way down behind here, and it comes out that little hole there, and it will now connect into this connection here, and then I'll just kind of feed all the excess behind to make it look ever so slightly more neat and tidy. So what we're going to go ahead and do is screw and just go in there, and now into this hole where I can hopefully try and screw it. So a slight issue I have is the ring connector is too big. However, I can just get a bigger bolt that will just go on there to hold that in place. So that isn't too much of a concern right now. But that is connected. There is no lights on there. So I don't know if it actually is working or not, essentially. Because that still might not be working, I'm not gonna lie. But the solar MPPT charge controller is working now. And the on-off switch is also working as well. So today we have accomplished the on-off switch being connected from the solar panel into the MPPT charge controller. We've also reconnected the battery to the MPPT charge controller, but with a fuse to hopefully prevent any issues, I guess. And we've also now connected the 12-volt blade fuse holder into the leisure battery, which includes an 80 amp fuse in the positive line. And yeah, I think that's a successful episode, and we're going to leave it there, everybody. Thank you so much for watching yet another thrilling episode of Converting My Van. Next time we're going to have a look at the power inverter, and yeah, that will go roughly there somewhere. Thank you everyone for watching this video. If you have any suggestions for my van build, for all my electrics, I genuinely would massively appreciate if you let me know, because I don't trust myself, and no matter how much research I do, I always seem to be making mistakes, which is absolutely fine. But I'd rather somebody who knows what they're doing and knows what they're talking about just drop me a comment saying, you're an idiot, you need to do this and this, and I'm like, thank you so much, massively appreciate that. Anyways, yeah, so feel free to comment. Thank you everyone for all the support and all the videos, I massively appreciate that as well. And yeah, I'll see you next time for installing a power inverter. Cool, I'll see you then, bye bye.